Today, I want to talk about a mindset that has the power to transform not just how we work, but how we live, dream, and ultimately how we define success. It's about shifting our focus from chasing perfection to pursuing excellence and embracing progress over the paralyzing pursuit of flawlessness. In a world that often glorifies perfection, whether it's the perfect job, the perfect body, the perfect life, we are constantly bombarded with the idea that anything less than perfect is not enough. But here's the truth: perfection is an illusion. It's a moving target, an unattainable standard that leaves us feeling inadequate, stressed, and stuck. Excellence, on the other hand, is real. It's tangible. It's about doing your best, learning from your experiences, and growing every single day. And progress? Progress is the heartbeat of success. It's the small, consistent steps we take toward our goals, even when the path isn't perfect. It's about showing up, putting in the work, and celebrating how far we've come, rather than obsessing over how far we have to go. So today I want to inspire you to let go of the pressure to be perfect and instead focus on becoming excellent, to embrace progress, no matter how small, and to recognize that every step forward is a victory. The idea of perfection is one of the most pervasive and damaging myths in our society. It's a standard that is often portrayed as achievable, but in reality, it's an illusion. Perfection is subjective. What one person considers perfect, another may see as flawed. This subjectivity makes it an impossible target to hit. For example, in the creative world, an artist might spend hours perfecting a painting, only to have someone critique it for not meeting their personal standard. In the workplace, an employee might deliver a project they believe is flawless, only to have a manager point out areas for improvement. This is because perfection is not a universal truth. It's a moving target that changes depending on who is judging it. The pursuit of perfection can also be paralyzing. When we set perfection as our goal, we often become so afraid of making mistakes that we avoid taking risks altogether. This fear of failure can prevent us from starting new projects, pursuing new opportunities, or even sharing our work with the world. We become stuck in a cycle of overthinking and overanalyzing, waiting for the perfect moment to act. But here's the truth: that moment never comes. Life is messy, unpredictable, and imperfect. Waiting for perfection means waiting forever. Instead of chasing perfection, we should focus on doing our best with the resources, knowledge, and time we have. Excellence, unlike perfection, is achievable. It's about striving to be the best version of ourselves, not some unattainable ideal. When we shift our focus from perfection to excellence, we free ourselves from the pressure to be flawless. We allow ourselves to make mistakes, learn from them, and grow. This mindset not only reduces stress, but also fosters creativity, innovation, and resilience. Consider the example of Thomas Edison, who famously failed thousands of times before inventing the light bulb. If he had been chasing perfection, he might have given up after the first few attempts. But because he was focused on progress and learning, he saw each failure as a step closer to success. His story reminds us that imperfection is not the enemy, it's an essential part of the journey. In our own lives, we can apply this principle by setting realistic goals and celebrating our efforts, even when the results aren't perfect. For instance, if you're working on a presentation, focus on delivering your message clearly and authentically, rather than obsessing over every minor detail. If you're learning a new skill, embrace the process of trial and error, knowing that each mistake brings you closer to mastery. By letting go of the myth of perfection, we open ourselves up to new possibilities and opportunities for growth. Excellence is not a destination, it's a journey. Unlike perfection, which implies a final, flawless state, excellence is about continuous improvement. It's about striving to be better today than you were yesterday, and better tomorrow than you are today. This mindset shifts the focus from achieving a fixed outcome to embracing the process of growth and learning. The journey toward excellence is marked by effort, persistence, and resilience. It requires us to push beyond our comfort zones, take risks, and learn from our experiences. It's not always easy, but it's incredibly rewarding. When we commit to excellence, we develop a growth mindset, a belief that our abilities and intelligence can be developed through dedication and hard work. This mindset empowers us to face challenges head-on and view setbacks as opportunities for growth. One of the key differences between excellence and perfection is that excellence allows for imperfection. It recognizes that mistakes and failures are inevitable, but it doesn't let them define us. Instead, it uses them as stepping stones to success. For example, consider the journey of an athlete. Even the most accomplished athletes don't perform perfectly every time. They experience losses, injuries, and setbacks. But what sets them apart is their commitment to excellence. They use each experience as an opportunity to learn, adapt, and improve. In our own lives, we can embrace the journey of excellence by setting meaningful goals and taking consistent action toward them. It's important to remember that progress is not always linear. There will be ups and downs, successes and failures, but as long as we stay committed to the process, we will continue to move forward. For instance, if we're working on a long-term project, break it down into smaller, manageable steps. Celebrate each milestone, no matter how small, and use it as motivation to keep going. Another important aspect of the journey toward excellence is self-reflection. Take time to evaluate your progress, identify areas for improvement, and adjust your approach as needed. This ongoing process of self-assessment and adaptation is what keeps us moving forward. It also helps us stay aligned with our values and priorities, ensuring that our efforts are directed toward what truly matters. Ultimately, the journey toward excellence is a lifelong pursuit. It's not about reaching a final destination, but about continually striving to be the best version of ourselves. By embracing this mindset, we can achieve lasting success and fulfillment. Progress, no matter how small, is a powerful force. It's the foundation of growth, success, and fulfillment. When we focus on progress rather than perfection, we shift our mindset from one of scarcity to one of abundance. Instead of fixating on what we haven't achieved, we celebrate what we have accomplished. This positive reinforcement motivates us to keep moving forward, even when the journey is challenging. The power of progress lies in its ability to build momentum. Each small step forward creates a sense of achievement and boosts our confidence. This momentum propels us to take the next step and the next until we reach our goals. For example, if you're trying to develop a new habit such as exercising regularly, starting with small manageable actions like a 10-minute walk each day can lead to significant progress over time. As you build consistency, you'll find it easier to increase the intensity and duration of your workouts. Progress also helps us overcome the fear of failure. When we focus on making incremental improvements, we reduce the pressure to achieve perfection. This allows us to take risks, experiment, and learn from our mistakes. For instance, if you're working on a creative project, such as writing a book or composing music, breaking the process into smaller tasks like writing a page a day or composing a few bars can make the task feel less daunting. Each small accomplishment builds confidence and keeps you motivated to continue. Another important aspect of progress is its cumulative effect. Small, consistent actions may seem insignificant in the moment, but over time, they add up to significant results. This is often referred to as the compound effect. Just as compound interest grows your savings over time, consistent progress grows your skills, knowledge, and achievements. For example, if you dedicate just 30 minutes a day to learning a new language, you'll make substantial progress over the course of a year. To harness the power of progress, it's important to set clear, achievable goals and track your progress regularly. This not only helps you stay focused, but also provides a sense of accomplishment as you see how far you've come. Celebrate your wins, no matter how small, and use them as motivation to keep going. Remember, progress is not about being perfect. It's about moving forward. One step at a time. Mistakes are often seen as failures, but in reality, they are some of our greatest teachers. Every mistake we make provides an opportunity to learn, grow, and improve. When we embrace this mindset, we transform our relationship with failure. Instead of fearing it, we see it as a natural and necessary part of the journey towards success. One of the most valuable lessons mistakes teach us is resilience. When we make a mistake, we have a choice. We can either let it defeat us or use it as a stepping stone to success. Those who choose the latter develop a resilience that enables them to bounce back from setbacks and keep moving forward. For example, consider the story of J.K. Rowling, who faced numerous rejections before her first Harry Potter book was published. Instead of giving up, she used each rejection as motivation to improve her work and persevere. Her resilience ultimately led to one of the most successful book series in history. Mistakes also teach us humility and self-awareness. They remind us that we are human and that we don't have all the answers. This humility opens us up to feedback and collaboration, which are essential for growth. For instance, if you make a mistake at work, seeking feedback from colleagues or mentors can help you identify areas for improvement and develop new skills. This willingness to learn and adapt is what sets successful people apart. And another important lesson mistakes teach us is problem solving. When something goes wrong, we are forced to think critically and creatively to find a solution. This process not only helps us resolve the immediate issue, but also strengthens our problem-solving skills for future challenges. For example, if you make a mistake while working on a project, analyzing what went wrong and brainstorming solutions can lead to innovative ideas and approaches. To make the most of our mistakes, it's important to adopt a growth mindset. This means viewing mistakes as opportunities for learning rather than as reflections of our worth. It also means being kind to ourselves and recognizing that everyone makes mistakes. By embracing this mindset, we can turn our mistakes into powerful tools for growth and success. The phrase, "done is better than perfect," is a powerful reminder that taking action is more important than waiting for everything to be flawless. In a world that often prioritizes perfection, this mindset can be liberating. It encourages us to move forward even when conditions aren't ideal, and to embrace imperfection as a natural part of the process. One of the biggest challenges of pursuing perfection is that it often leads to procrastination. When we set impossibly high standards for ourselves, we can become so overwhelmed by the fear of not meeting them that we avoid starting altogether. This paralysis prevents us from making progress and achieving our goals. For example, if you're working on a creative project, such as writing a novel or designing a website, waiting for the perfect idea or the perfect moment can keep you stuck in a cycle of inaction. But the truth is, there is no perfect moment. The best way to move forward is to start, even if it's messy or imperfect. Taking action, even when it's not perfect, also allows us to learn and improve. When we put our work out into the world, we receive feedback that helps us refine and grow. For instance, if you're launching a new product or service, releasing a minimum viable product, MVP, allows you to test your idea with real customers and gather valuable insights. This iterative process of learning and improving is far more effective than waiting for everything to be perfect before taking the first step. Another benefit of prioritizing done over perfect is that it builds momentum. When we take action, we create a sense of accomplishment that motivates us to keep going. Each small step forward builds confidence and momentum, making it easier to tackle the next challenge. For example, if you're trying to build a new habit, such as exercising regularly, starting with small, manageable actions, like a 10-minute walk each day, can lead to significant progress over time. As you build consistency, you'll find it easier to increase the intensity and duration of your workouts. To embrace the done is better than perfect mindset, it's important to set realistic goals and focus on progress rather than perfection. Break your tasks into smaller, manageable steps and celebrate each accomplishment, no matter how small. Remember, the goal is not to be perfect, but to keep moving forward. By taking action and embracing imperfection, you can achieve your goals and create meaningful progress in your life. Excellence is sustainable because it is rooted in effort, growth, and balance, rather than in the unattainable pursuit of perfection. Perfectionism often leads to burnout, as it demands constant, flawless performance without room for error or rest. Excellence, on the other hand, is about doing your best while maintaining a healthy balance in life. It recognizes that we are human beings with limits and that rest, self-care, and reflection are essential components of long-term success. One of the key reasons excellence is sustainable is that it focuses on effort rather than outcome. When we strive for excellence, we measure success by the effort we put in and the progress we make rather than by the final result. This mindset reduces the pressure to achieve perfection and allows us to enjoy the process of growth. For example, an athlete who focuses on improving their skills and performance each day rather than obsessing over winning every competition, is more likely to sustain their motivation and avoid burnout. Excellence also encourages adaptability and resilience. It recognizes that setbacks and challenges are inevitable, but it doesn't let them derail us. Instead, it uses them as opportunities to learn and grow. For instance, if a business faces a downturn, a leader who embraces excellence will focus on finding creative solutions and adapting to the new circumstances rather than giving up or becoming paralyzed by fear. This adaptability is what allows individuals and organizations to thrive in the face of adversity. Another important aspect of sustainable excellence is self-awareness. It requires us to understand our strengths, weaknesses, and limits, and to work within them. This self-awareness helps us set realistic goals, prioritize our efforts, and avoid overextending ourselves. For example, if you're working on a project, recognizing when you need to take a break or ask for help can prevent burnout and ensure that you're able to sustain your efforts over the long term. To cultivate sustainable excellence, it's important to prioritize self-care and balance. This means making time for rest, relaxation, and activities that bring you joy and fulfillment. It also means setting boundaries and saying no to things that drain your energy or distract you from your goals. By taking care of yourself, you'll be better equipped to pursue excellence in a way that is healthy and sustainable. Ultimately, sustainable excellence is about finding a balance between striving for greatness and taking care of yourself. It's about doing your best while recognizing that you are human and that rest and self-care are essential components of success. By embracing this mindset, you can achieve lasting success and fulfillment without sacrificing your well-being. Progressive, no matter how small, is a powerful confidence builder. Each step forward, each accomplishment, no matter how minor, reinforces the belief that we are capable of achieving our goals. This growing confidence fuels our motivation and empowers us to take on bigger challenges. When we focus on progress rather than perfection, we create a positive feedback loop that keeps us moving forward. One of the reasons progress builds confidence is that it provides tangible evidence of our abilities. When we see the results of our efforts, no matter how small, we are reminded that we have the power to create change and achieve our goals. For example, if you're learning a new skill, such as playing a musical instrument, each time you master a new chord or song, you gain confidence in your ability to learn and improve. This confidence motivates you to keep practicing and tackling more difficult pieces. Progress also helps us overcome self-doubt and fear of failure. When we focus on making incremental improvements, we reduce the pressure to achieve perfection. This allows us to take risks, experiment, and learn from our mistakes. For instance, if you're working on a creative project, such as writing a book or composing music, breaking the process into smaller tasks, like writing a page a day or composing a few bars, can make the task feel less daunting. Each small accomplishment builds confidence and keeps you motivated to continue. Another important aspect of progress is its cumulative effect. Small, consistent actions may seem insignificant in the moment, but over time they add up to significant results. This is often referred to as the compound effect. Just as compound interest grows your savings over time, consistent progress grows your skills, knowledge, and achievements. For example, if you dedicate just 30 minutes a day to learning a new language, you'll make substantial progress over the course of a year. This progress builds confidence and motivates you to keep going. To harness the confidence-building power of progress, it's important to set clear, achievable goals and track your progress regularly. This not only helps you stay focused, but also provides a sense of accomplishment as you see how far you've come. Celebrate your wins, no matter how small, and use them as motivation to keep going. Remember, progress is not about being perfect. It's about moving forward, one step at a time. Ultimately, progress builds confidence by showing us that we are capable of growth and achievement. By focusing on progress rather than perfection, we create a positive feedback loop that keeps us motivated and empowered to pursue our goals. This growing confidence is what enables us to take on bigger challenges and achieve lasting success. The pursuit of perfection can be paralyzing. When we set impossibly high standards for ourselves, we become so afraid of making mistakes that we avoid taking risks or trying new things. This fear of failure can prevent us from starting projects, pursuing opportunities, or even sharing our work with the world. In short, perfectionism can keep us stuck in a cycle of inaction and self-doubt. One of the reasons perfectionism is so paralyzing is that it creates a fear of judgment. When we strive for perfection, we often worry about what others will think if we fall short. This fear of judgment can prevent us from taking action or putting ourselves out there. For example, if you're working on a creative project, such as writing a book or painting a picture, the fear of criticism can keep you from sharing your work with others. This fear can be so overwhelming that it prevents you from even starting the project in the first place. Perfectionism also leads to overthinking and overanalyzing. When we set impossibly high standards, we can become so focused on getting every detail right that we lose sight of the bigger picture. This overthinking can lead to procrastination and indecision as we become paralyzed by the fear of making a mistake. For instance, if you're working on a business proposal, the fear of not getting it perfect can lead to endless revisions and delays, preventing you from moving forward. Another way perfectionism paralyzes us is by creating a fear of failure. When we set perfection as our goal, we see any mistake or setback as a failure. This fear of failure can prevent us from taking risks or trying new things, as we become so focused on avoiding mistakes that we miss out on opportunities for growth and learning. For example, if you're considering starting a new business, the fear of failure can keep you from taking the first step, even if you have a great idea. To overcome the paralyzing effects of perfectionism, it's important to shift our mindset from perfection to progress. Instead of focusing on getting everything right, focus on taking action and making progress, even if it's imperfect. Remember, done is better than perfect. By taking action, you'll build momentum and confidence, and you'll be able to learn and grow from your experiences. And another helpful strategy is to set realistic goals and expectations. Instead of aiming for perfection, aim for excellence. Recognize that mistakes and setbacks are a natural part of the process and use them as opportunities for learning and growth. By embracing imperfection and focusing on progress, you can overcome the paralysis of perfectionism and achieve your goals. Excellence is authentic because it allows us to be true to ourselves. Unlike perfection, which often requires us to conform to external standards or expectations, excellence is about doing our best while staying true to our values, strengths, and unique qualities. This authenticity is what makes excellence sustainable and fulfilling. One of the reasons excellence is authentic is that it embraces individuality. It recognizes that each of us has unique strengths, talents, and perspectives, and it encourages us to use these qualities to our advantage. For example, if you're a creative person, excellence might mean using your creativity to solve problems and innovate rather than trying to fit into a mold that doesn't suit you. This authenticity allows you to shine and make a meaningful impact. Excellence also encourages self-expression. When we strive for excellence, we are free to express ourselves and share our unique perspectives with the world. This self-expression is what makes our work meaningful and fulfilling. For instance, if you're an artist, excellence might mean creating work that reflects your personal experiences and emotions rather than trying to create something that appeals to everyone. This authenticity resonates with others and creates a deeper connection. Another important aspect of authentic excellence is integrity. It requires us to stay true to our values and principles, even when it's difficult. This integrity is what builds trust and respect both with ourselves and with others. For example, if you're a leader, excellence might mean making decisions that align with your values, even if they are unpopular. This integrity is what sets you apart and earns the respect of those around you. To cultivate authentic excellence, it's important to stay true to yourself and your values. Take time to reflect on what matters most to you and what you want to achieve. Use these insights to guide your actions and decisions. Remember, excellence is not about conforming to external standards, it's about being the best version of yourself. Ultimately, authentic excellence is about embracing who you are and using your unique qualities to make a meaningful impact. By staying true to yourself and your values, you can achieve excellence in a way that is fulfilling and sustainable. Focusing on progress over perfection is liberating because it frees us from the pressure to be flawless. When we let go of the need to be perfect, we open ourselves up to new possibilities and opportunities for growth. This mindset shift allows us to take risks, experiment, and learn from our experiences without the fear of failure holding us back. One of the reasons progress over perfection is liberating is that it reduces the pressure to meet impossibly high standards. When we focus on progress, we give ourselves permission to make mistakes and learn from them. This reduces the fear of failure and allows us to take action, even when conditions aren't perfect. For example, if you're working on a creative project, such as writing a book or designing a website, focusing on progress allows you to start and iterate rather than waiting for the perfect idea or moment. Progress over perfection also encourages experimentation and innovation. When we're not afraid of making mistakes, we're more willing to try new things and take risks. This openness to experimentation is what leads to breakthroughs and new discoveries. For instance, if you're an entrepreneur, focusing on progress allows you to test new ideas and pivot as needed, rather than waiting for the perfect business plan. Another important aspect of progress over perfection is that it fosters a growth mindset. When we focus on progress, we see challenges and setbacks as opportunities for learning and growth rather than as failures. This mindset empowers us to keep moving forward even when the journey is difficult. For example, if you're learning a new skill, such as playing a musical instrument, focusing on progress allows you to celebrate small wins and keep practicing even when you make mistakes. To embrace the liberating power of progress over perfection, it's important to set realistic goals and focus on the process rather than the outcome. Break your tasks into smaller, manageable steps and celebrate each accomplishment, no matter how small. Remember, progress is not about being perfect, it's about moving forward, one step at a time. Ultimately, progress over perfection is liberating because it allows us to embrace imperfection and focus on growth. By letting go of the need to be perfect, we open ourselves up to new possibilities and opportunities for success. This mindset shift is what enables us to achieve our goals and create meaningful progress in our lives. Perfection is static. It implies a final, unchanging state where everything is flawless. But life is not static. It's dynamic, ever-changing, and full of uncertainties. Excellence, on the other hand, is dynamic. It's about adapting, evolving, and growing in response to new challenges and opportunities. This dynamic nature of excellence makes it a far more realistic and fulfilling goal than perfection. One of the key differences between perfection and excellence is that perfection leaves no room for growth. Once something is deemed perfect, there's no need to improve or change it. But excellence thrives on growth. It's about constantly striving to be better, learning from experiences, and adapting to new circumstances. For example, consider a business that aims for perfection in its products. Once the product is launched, the company might resist making changes or improvements, fearing that any alteration would make it less than perfect. But a business that pursues excellence is always looking for ways to innovate and improve, even after the product is released. This adaptability is what allows the company to stay competitive and relevant in a constantly changing market. Excellence also embraces change and uncertainty. It recognizes that life is unpredictable and that we can't control everything. Instead of trying to create a perfect, unchanging outcome, excellence focuses on doing the best we can with the resources and knowledge we have at any given moment. For instance, if you're working on a project and unexpected challenges arise, excellence means finding creative solutions and adapting your approach rather than giving up or becoming paralyzed by the need for everything to go perfectly. Another important aspect of dynamic excellence is resilience. When we pursue excellence, we develop the ability to bounce back from setbacks and keep moving forward. This resilience is essential for navigating the ups and downs of life. For example, if you're an athlete and you lose a competition, excellence means analyzing what went wrong, learning from the experience, and using that knowledge to improve your performance in the future. This resilience is what enables you to keep striving for greatness even in the face of adversity. To cultivate dynamic excellence, it's important to embrace a growth mindset. This means viewing challenges and setbacks as opportunities for learning and growth rather than as failures. It also means being open to feedback and willing to make changes based on what you learn. For example, if you're working on a creative project such as writing a book or composing music, excellence means being open to feedback from others and using that feedback to refine and improve your work. Ultimately, dynamic excellence is about embracing change and growth. It's about recognizing that life is unpredictable and that we can't control everything, but we can always strive to do our best. By embracing this mindset, we can achieve lasting success and fulfillment in a constantly changing world. Celebrating small wins is a powerful way to stay motivated and build momentum on your journey toward excellence. When we focus on progress rather than perfection, we recognize that every step forward, no matter how small, is a victory worth celebrating. These small wins provide a sense of accomplishment and reinforce the belief that we are capable of achieving our goals. One of the reasons celebrating small wins is so important is that it helps us stay motivated. When we set big, long-term goals, it can be easy to feel overwhelmed or discouraged by the amount of work required to achieve them. But by breaking these goals down into smaller, manageable steps and celebrating each small win along the way, we create a sense of progress and momentum that keeps us motivated. For example, if you're working on a large project, such as writing a book or launching a business, celebrating each chapter completed or each milestone reached can help you stay focused and motivated to keep going. Celebrating small wins also builds confidence. Each time we achieve a small win, we are reminded of our abilities and our progress. This growing confidence empowers us to take on bigger challenges and keep moving forward. For instance, if you're learning a new skill, such as playing a musical instrument, celebrating each new chord or song you master can boost your confidence and motivate you to tackle more difficult pieces. Another important aspect of celebrating small wins is that it helps us maintain a positive mindset. When we focus on progress and celebrate our achievements, no matter how small, we create a positive feedback loop that reinforces our efforts and keeps us motivated. This positive mindset, for example, if you're working on a fitness goal, celebrating each small improvement, such as running an extra mile or lifting a heavier weight, can help you stay positive and motivated even when progress feels slow. To make the most of celebrating small wins, it's important to set clear, achievable goals and track your progress regularly. This not only helps you stay focused, but also provides a sense of accomplishment as you see how far you've come. Take time to acknowledge and celebrate each small win, whether it's with a simple pat on the back, a small reward, or sharing your achievement with others. Remember, progress is not about being perfect. It's about moving forward one step at a time. Ultimately, celebrating small wins is a powerful way to stay motivated, build confidence, and maintain a positive mindset on your journey toward excellence. By recognizing and celebrating each small victory, you create a sense of progress and momentum that keeps you moving forward toward your goals. Perfectionism is often rooted in fear. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of not being good enough. This fear can be paralyzing, preventing us from taking risks, trying new things, or even starting projects. But when we recognize that perfectionism is just fear in disguise, we can begin to let go of the need to be perfect and embrace the freedom of striving for excellence. One of the most common fears underlying perfectionism is the fear of failure. When we set impossibly high standards for ourselves, we become so afraid of making mistakes that we avoid taking risks or trying new things. This fear of failure can prevent us from pursuing our goals and achieving our full potential. For example, if you're considering starting a new business, the fear of failure might keep you from taking the first step, even if you have a great idea. But when we recognize that failure is a natural part of the learning process, we can begin to let go of this fear and take action. Another fear that often underlies perfectionism is the fear of judgment. When we strive for perfection, we often worry about what others will think if we fall short. This fear of judgment can prevent us from sharing our work, pursuing our passions, or even expressing ourselves authentically. For instance, If you're working on a creative project, such as writing a book or painting a picture, the fear of criticism can keep you from sharing your work with others. But when we recognize that everyone makes mistakes and that judgment is often a reflection of the other person's insecurities, we can begin to let go of this fear and embrace our imperfections. Perfectionism can also be rooted in the fear of not being good enough. When we set impossibly high standards for ourselves, we often feel like we're never doing enough or never measuring up. This fear of not being good enough can lead to feelings of inadequacy and self-doubt. But when we recognize that we are enough as we are and that our worth is not determined by our achievements, we can begin to let go of this fear and embrace our unique qualities and strengths. To overcome the fear that underlies perfectionism, it's important to shift our mindset from perfection to progress. Instead of focusing on getting everything right, focus on taking action and making progress, even if it's imperfect. Remember, done is better than perfect. By taking action, you'll build momentum and confidence, and you'll be able to learn and grow from your experiences. Another helpful strategy is to practice self-compassion. Recognize that everyone makes mistakes and that failure is a natural part of the learning process. Be kind to yourself and give yourself permission to be imperfect. By embracing imperfection and focusing on progress, you can overcome the fear that underlies perfectionism and achieve your goals. Ultimately, recognizing that perfectionism is fear in disguise is the first step toward letting go of the need to be perfect and embracing the freedom of striving for excellence. By letting go of fear and focusing on progress, you can achieve lasting success and fulfillment. Progress is deeply personal. It's about your unique journey, your goals, and your growth. Comparing your progress to someone else's is not only unfair, but also counterproductive. Each of us has our own path, our own challenges, and our own pace. By focusing on your own progress, you can stay true to your journey and achieve your goals in a way that is meaningful and fulfilling. One of the reasons progress is personal is that each of us has different strengths, weaknesses, and circumstances. What works for one person may not work for another, and that's okay. For example, if you're learning a new skill, such as playing a musical instrument, your progress will depend on your unique abilities, the amount of time you can dedicate to practice, and your learning style. Comparing your progress to someone else's who may have different circumstances can lead to feelings of inadequacy and self-doubt. But when you focus on your own progress, you can celebrate your unique achievements and stay motivated to keep going. Progress is also personal because it's about your own goals and aspirations. Each of us has different dreams and priorities, and our progress should be measured against our own goals, not someone else's. For instance, if your goal is to run a marathon, your progress should be measured by your own training and improvement, not by how fast someone else can run. By focusing on your own goals, you can stay true to your journey and achieve success in a way that is meaningful to you. Another important aspect of personal progress is that it allows for self-compassion and self-acceptance. When we focus on our own progress, we can be kinder to ourselves and recognize that growth takes time. We can celebrate our achievements, no matter how small, and use them as motivation to keep moving forward. For example, if you're working on a long-term project, such as writing a book or building a business, focusing on your own progress allows you to celebrate each milestone and stay motivated, even when progress feels slow. To make the most of personal progress, it's important to set clear, achievable goals that align with your values and priorities. Take time to reflect on what matters most to you and what you want to achieve. Use these insights to guide your actions and decisions. Remember, progress is not about being perfect. It's about moving forward, one step at a time. Ultimately, progress is personal because it's about your unique journey and growth. By focusing on your own progress and staying true to your goals, you can achieve success in a way that is meaningful and fulfilling. This personal approach to progress is what enables you to stay motivated, resilient, and true to yourself. You don't need to be perfect to be worthy. You are enough as you are, and your progress is proof of your strength and resilience. So as you leave here today, I challenge you to shift your mindset. Stop chasing perfection and start chasing excellence. Celebrate your progress no matter how small. Remember, It's not about being flawless. It's about being fearless in the pursuit of growth. Let's choose progress over perfection. Let's choose excellence over impossible standards. And let's remember that every step forward, no matter how imperfect, is a step toward becoming the best version of ourselves. Thank you.